Okay, so today I want to take a look at this Fender American Professional Stratocaster. It's a Fender Special Run. It's got an all rosewood neck. So I just wanted to go through the guitar a little bit, tell you the specs, play some sounds through it, and kind of give you my thoughts on it. I got this guitar around Christmas of last year, and right about that time is when I decided I was going to make this channel, and so I got distracted and started getting cameras and testing audio and all that different stuff. And I didn't really get to pay as much attention to this guitar as I should have. So it was a while before I actually got around to enjoying it. So I went to make the video about this guitar, and usually when I do that, I'll set up the camera, I'll set up the audio, and I'll play a little bit and just kind of walk through what I'm going to do. And when I did that, I found a little problem with the guitar that I had to fix before I could shoot the video. So I'm going to show you some clips from that video, and then we'll get into the specs on this guitar. So let's get going. Ooh. Yeah, no tone. The f what? Oh, you have got to be. So I found that my tone knobs are reversed for the pickups on this guitar. I'm not exactly sure what it's supposed to be as far as the bridge in the middle. Let's see what it does right now. So if I put it on the bridge and I turn the tone knob that is supposed to go with the neck pickup, then let's see if it actually changes the tone. Okay, so it looks like the bridge is hooked up to a tone knob, not the right tone knob, but a tone knob. Let's see if the middle is. Yeah, okay, so both of these are hooked up to a tone knob, which is cool. But they're hooked up to the wrong tone knob, and the same is true for the neck. It's hooked up down here to the bridge tone knob. Alright, so I don't usually open the guitar up during review videos, but I figured since I have to swap these wires out, let's take a peek under the hood here. So the first thing I notice is there's no shielding in the pickup routes, which is surprising to me because, I mean, even the more affordable guitars I get all have shielding these days. But, they've got some shielding on the pick guard here, and maybe these pickups don't need it as much. I don't know. I do find that interesting, though. Alright, well, all I need to do really to fix this guitar is swap a couple of wires around. There's two wires coming from the switch, one of them going to one tone knob and one going to the other tone knob. And I'm just going to swap those wires around, and hopefully that'll fix everything. Try to avoid inhaling a little bit of lead. I guess it's a good time to remind you, if you're going to try something like this, please be careful. Alright, I had to bring out the big guns so I could test the pickups. This is my little Dan Electro amp here. This is perfect for this. Alright, before I get into doing sound samples, let's test my work here and make sure that I got these things working right. So full tone on the bridge pickup, no tone on the bridge pickup. Hey, it looks like it's working. Neck pickup, full tone, no tone. Okay, success. So now let's go through the pickups and just kind of see what they sound like. So I don't have anything on but reverb for these clean samples. So usually I start at the neck, but because Strat positions are labeled 1 to 5 starting at the bridge, I'm going to start at the bridge this time. Put the tone up a little bit, and I got the volume around 8 so I don't clip. So let's just see what this thing sounds like. Man, that sounds good, doesn't it? I love these pickups. I love them. Okay, so while I'm in the first position, let's go ahead and check out the treble bleed. I didn't even know it was in this guitar, so that's really cool. If you've seen the upgrade video I did for this Ibanez, I put a treble bleed in it, and I really liked it in that guitar. So I don't know if you know what a treble bleed circuit is, but usually when you roll the volume off, you also lose a little bit of the top end, and so this is supposed to let the top end keep going through even when you roll the volume pretty much all the way down. Alright, so here we are on 8. And I'm going to roll it down to 2. So even with the volume down, you can tell it's really got a nice sound to it. Sometimes you want to be able to roll the volume off without it doing that, so I wouldn't say put a treble bleed in every guitar you have, but it's definitely a nice feature to have in some of your guitars. So that's cool that they put that in this. I like that a lot. Alright, so let's move on up. We'll go to the second position here. Put a little more volume back up. Alright, man. Moving on to position 3. Alright, moving on to position 4. It's another position I really like, so get a little more tone in there. Okay, let's move on to the 5th position on the neck here. Alright, let's have some loop fun. Okay, now that I've got the wiring correct in this guitar, let's go over it a little bit. I have to say that the reason I didn't catch that is because when I was looking at guitars, I was playing a different one, and I had decided that this was the guitar I wanted, and then I went back to pick it up, and they had this color, and I liked this better than the other one I was looking at, and so I grabbed this one, and I didn't actually plug it in and check it, so that's my mistake, but I figured it was the same, but no harm, no foul. It was easy enough to fix, so let's check this guitar out. This is an ocean turquoise finish with a tortoiseshell pickguard. And it's got the rosewood headstock here and this all rosewood neck. I think the guitar looks really good. The fit and finish is good. Oh, it's also got this tortoiseshell back plate on here, which is cool. Got the Fender plate cover here, and you've got Fender tuners. Overall, I think the guitar looks really nice. Okay, so let's go over the specs a little bit. Like I mentioned, it's a Fender special run, so it's got an all rosewood neck on it. These pickups are the V-Mod pickups. They're Tim Shaw designed, and I think they're great. It's really the reason I got this guitar, is I love these pickups. I think they're fantastic. So the nut's made of bone. It always cracks me up thinking about guitars that have bone nuts, because somewhere there's some manufacturer that has a pile of bones. And who came up with that in the first place? This sounds pretty good, but let me throw some bone on there and see what it sounds like. So anyway, that always just makes me laugh every time I think of it. But they do sound great. They sound fantastic. We've got the narrow tall frets here. Fender seems to be putting that on pretty much everything these days, unless it's something special, you know. And I really like those frets. They're really good for bending, I think. I was kind of happy to find that Squier was putting them on their guitars too, really. The neck profile is called a modern deep C, and it feels pretty good in your hand. I like the way it's kind of thick. It's not bad though. I mean, I would say if you saw the review of the baritone Cabronita, I'd say this neck is probably a little thinner than that, actually. So I like it. It's your typical bolt-on Fender neck. You got a dual action truss rod on here, and it's a satin finish on the back of the neck, and the neck radius is 9.5. So again, you got your typical Strat configuration, your 3 pickups, 5-way switch, master volume, 2 tones. We've got a 6 saddle bridge. It's a 2-screw tremolo. I like that a lot more than the 6-screw tremolo. I plan on doing a video on one of my Mexican Stratocasters at some point, and maybe I can compare the differences a little bit. Standard output jack on the front. You know, it's a typical Strat. It's just got this rosewood neck on it. So, did I miss anything? The trim arm is one of those pop-in trim arms. I've seen mixed reviews about that, but I kind of like it. It's very convenient, especially if you've ever dealt with those little springs and losing them. You know, I've definitely lost several of those over the years. I ended up buying like a big bulk pack of them just so I'd always have some around. So it's really nice to be able to just pop this in and out, and it works really well. So I'm really happy with that. And these tuning machines are the deluxe Fender tuning machines. The guitar came with a hard shell case. I'm not going to get that out, but it's a pretty nice case. We'll look over the back one more time. See, you've got the comfort cut there. Again, it's just your typical Strat body style here, so nothing special to tell there really. Okay, so let me give you my final thoughts on this guitar. First of all, I'll say I'm really happy with the color and the pick guard. I think it looks good. I'm also really happy with the trim system. It's really stable, and I really like this push-in arm. It's super convenient. And then I'll also say I love these pickups. That's the reason I got the guitar. Another thing I want to point out is the fact that it comes with the treble bleed. I think that's really cool. You can see here it's a Fender logoed treble bleed, which I didn't even know they had those, so that's pretty cool. Definitely thought that was a cool feature of the guitar. But while I'm talking about wiring, I should also say that my particular guitar came with the wires backwards, so I have to list that as a con for sure. Had to get in here and fix the wiring some, but it was pretty easy to fix, and it gave me a chance to get inside the guitar and look around a little bit. Another thing that I'll mention that maybe it's a con or maybe it's just a surprise to me, but there was no shielding in the pickup routes, and that surprised me. And there was shielding on the pick guard, and I've never had any issues with noise with these pickups, so maybe it doesn't need extra shielding, but that was just a surprise to me and I wanted to mention it one more time. Next thing I want to mention is the weight. It's got a really good weight and balance to it. I find that my preference is somewhere between 7 and 8.5 pounds, so see, we're at 7 pounds 11 ounces here, so I really think the weight of this guitar is perfect for me. Alright, the next thing I want to talk about is this rosewood neck. I think it looks great. I really like the wood grain on the back and the skunk stripe. I think it looks really good. I really like these frets, so I'm happy with that. It's got a bone nut, and even though nobody questioned where this bone came from, I'll say that the slots are cut well and it sounds really good. I will give one little complaint about this headstock. I wish Fender had put some gold or black or something in the logo, because you really can't see it up against that rosewood. Other than that, I think the neck feels great in your hand. I will say one complaint about it. It feels kind of dry or something. Like if you play it up against a gloss neck, it seems like a slower neck, but it feels good. I mean, it feels like real wood in your hands. It's a nice neck. It just plays a little different, so if you're looking to get one, you may want to try it. And the last thing I want to mention is the tuners. They work really well, and the guitar stays in tune great, and they feel good to turn. So overall, I love this thing, and I think if you're thinking about getting one, it's definitely worth it. But I would recommend trying some of the rosewood neck versions if they're still available, and I think they are as of right now, at the time of making this video. But I would definitely try both versions, the rosewood and the maple version. Like I said, I ended up liking the rosewood a little more and was willing to pay more for it. So definitely worth checking that out. But just in general, I think the American Professional Strats are great guitars. So I hope you liked the review and hope you enjoyed the sound samples. And if you're thinking about getting this guitar, go pick it up. It's a really good one. Definitely try it out. So thanks again for watching. Remember to hit the subscribe button and hit that like button on your way out. And until next time, take it easy and keep playing.